You know, say what you want about late stage capitalism, and I do, but there are dinosaurs on my Dr. Pepper. There's the possibility of World War III, but there are dinosaurs on my Dr. Pepper. So, the last video I made, we were dissecting a character design that just didn't work. It didn't really. It wasn't really there, you know what I mean? It didn't make the mark. So I've been back at the lab, coming up with new stuff, and I've got a short story I'm working on because I said in that video, I don't want to make my darling the comic that I work on first because I don't know if I'm capable of doing something that big. Like, the scale that I've imagined for this thing is probably outside of the scope of my abilities right now. I haven't been making comics since I was in high school, so I'm gonna have to do something a bit smaller. So I'm working on a short story, and it's a creature. It's a creature feature. It's a creature feature, and I have this creature design for it. So we're gonna go through, and I'm gonna talk about designing a creature, and I'm gonna show you one design that didn't make the cut. One design where I had this epiphany, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with," and then that's kind of where it ended up going from there. And then we're gonna go in and design some characters because I have some ideas for characters, and we're gonna discuss how to do settings and themes and all that fun stuff for making your little comic or my little comic because it's this is about me, but I'm including you in the process so that I'm motivated to actually do it. Hey y'all, my name is Arthur. Welcome back to I Dream of Entropy, the YouTube show where I design a creature. Let's design a creature. So the idea, right, is there's this alien, and so I started designing the ship. And then I designed the angel ship, right, where it has like these rings of lights, and it's this big old sphere. And I thought that would be cool, and the lights could like cast beams, and that's where I started with it. And so I kept going with that. I was like, all right, so what pilots an angel ship? A bird, right? Because angels are bird-like. So I thought maybe a bird? Maybe it could have a suit? And then I looked up, accounts from people who'd been abducted by aliens. And they claimed that it looked like an owl. So I thought I'd give it kind of like a horned owl design, maybe? Maybe make it kind of grotesque looking. I played around with like the idea of making it like a centipede or a spider on the lower half. Kind of like a centaur type deal. That wasn't a good idea. But, you live and you learn. I'm sorry that this one is rambly and unscripted, but as you can see, I've been having a time of it just trying new things. And embarrassing myself, but that's how you know you're trying enough new things. If you never embarrass yourself, then what are you doing? Not giving yourself any opportunities to be embarrassed. Ha ha ha. Bigfoot looking owl thing. I really did try a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I had a whole bunch of ideas. And I think that's what saved me in the end. And what really messed me up in the middle. Like, I think the problem is that I got too stuck on this one idea. And I couldn't, pull back and reassess and be like, alright, is this the best direction to go with the kind of thing that I'm trying to do? Because it's kind of a body horror story. Like, the body horror is a really big part of it, and, the alien, I don't want it to look too funny, There's like a line. There's a line between stylized and cartoonish. Like, I want to kind of ride that line, like anime. Like, I don't know how many of you have read Junji Ito, but he is the master of body horror, in my opinion. I love all of the really gross and weird stuff that he thinks to do with bodies. Yeah, so I didn't want something looking super out of place. So the alien, I wanted it to look, obviously not like that. That, eventually I decided it didn't need a spacesuit, because it would be adapted for space. And that's how I got around designing the spacesuit. Because, like, I wanted something that wasn't human at all, Could not be mistaken for a human. And giving it clothes definitely doesn't, help, add to the non-humanness of a creature. I mean, some people do it well, but I'm not that smart or talented. Unfortunately, we're only working off of the grind here. No talent, just grind. Honestly, the secret is, all artists are all grind. Some people just manage to grind on some things I haven't thought to grind on yet. I think I have an agenda with these videos, and it's that I want you to leave them inspired, and I want you to leave them thinking, instead of, wow, look at that art. I sure wish I could make art like that, but I can't. That's just beyond my skill level, to being, wow, look at what's possible. And wow, look at how many attempts this guy had to make before he found something he was satisfied with. At one point, I played with the idea of them being toads. Like, as you can see, right? Art is something, a lot of people on here, on YouTube specifically, are a lot more competent than I am. But I will just hack at it until I get what I want. I'm Homo sapiens sapiens. I'm the endurance predator. I will chase the megafauna down with my crude spear until it just gives up. that megafauna is this creature design. And it beat me, I'm gonna be honest. This design phase completely, beat me several times. Like, how many attempts have I made and I still don't have a creature? This thing was kind of fun. I don't know what tempted me to give it really small eyes, but I don't know, maybe I'll do another creature with, small eyes like him in another one. but it didn't work for the story that I'm going for. So, the story's about these like two teenagers that, you know, oh, here's where I completely gave up. And I did something that I'm gonna suggest y'all do if you ever get stuck. Start a side quest. The side quest here was painting, working less with lines and more with like forms and shadows and color, because I'm not that good at it. So this is my side quest to help get my mind out of the space that it was in, because, you know, sometimes you have to give up and step away. So the idea, right, for the story is that there's a couple of, like, teenagers that are going out ghost hunting in Newport News. Now, there's two sites I can think of. There's a military base, right? And there's a, this bridge that's supposedly haunted out there. There's a couple of stories about it. None of them actually happened. But it is a fun setting, and I want, like, increasingly bizarre and supernatural things to start happening to where the characters are completely convinced, right? One of them goes into it because the other one invited them, and then one is in it because she is convinced that she's gonna see ghosts. Like, she's got, she's kind of a chuny. But I won't hold that against her. A lot of us were chunies. So, her motivation, right, for inviting this, this other kid along was, this other kid, right, stares at her all the time in class and is, like, really shy and awkward around her, and so she thinks the other kid has a crush. And there's, you know, maybe homecoming or something's coming up, but for some reason there's a reason she would need a date, and she wants them to ask her. She's responsible for everything else in her life, you know, she's type A personality, straight A student, she's, you know, AP courses, she's like, just be responsible for this, right? Somebody else take the wheel, please. The other kid does not have a crush on her. That is not what's going on. I want to explain, but I think that some things should just stay in the story. Basically, this conflict is the entire, like, thing that I'm writing the story around, is the conflict between the characters. I am a really, strong proponent of, like, characterization first, you know? Well, I mean, of course, story, right? Your characters aren't real people, they are instruments of the story, but please to be, giving your characters realistic motivations. Alright, back to the lab. We are, again, going in with the owl. I was really stuck on this idea that it had to be an owl. Because it makes sense, right? People describe aliens as, like, owl-like, and, you know, if you look at owlets, they kind of look like aliens. Again with the fishbowl, I don't know why I was so stuck on this idea. And I gave them these, like, really massive pectoral muscles. The idea was that they would, like, instead of having, you know, these wings, they would have just really really strong arms and hands. Like, they just have dumb strength. Like, in terms of their, like, upper body strength. I mean, I don't think the creature design was terrible, I just don't think that it fit what I was going for. Either way, I had this idea, right, that they could kind of walk with their arms back like they were wings. I don't know. Come to think of it, I think there was a movie a while back where a woman was, like, abducted by aliens and she kept seeing owls. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. Or don't. I mean, I'm probably not going to be reading the comments. If I'm honest, I think my mental health is too important to leave it at the mercy of YouTube comments. Love y'all, but I've seen some of y'all, and damn. That's why I lurk. Well, that's why I did lurk for, you know, a few decades, and then I was like, you know, I like YouTube videos. I really do. I like video essays. I like tutorials, especially art-related tutorials. And I love speed paints, and I love, you know, watching artists, and I thought, yeah, maybe I'll do that. And it's been pretty fun so far, and when it stops being fun, I mean, I guess I'll stop, unless it's lucrative, and then I'll be really screwed. Because I tell you, this sure beats pest control. I mean, there are things I like about pest control. It's nice to know a trade, it's nice to have all of this knowledge about bugs. Special interest fun. It's just the, you know, autistic burnout. And here you see me hitting another side quest. I really struggled with this design, because I did not know where to start, because an alien can be anything. That's the challenge of it, is making something with the right vibe is more important a lot of the time than making something that really even makes biological sense. Like, a lot of alien designs have been just like the weirdest thing you've ever seen and not pulled from anything. I really like, you know, the Alien franchise. I know that those are pulled from parasitoids and stuff like that. And I really like what it had to say as a work of art. Just love the Aliens franchise. Or Alien franchise, or whatever we're calling it now. I don't know why unicorns, but unicorns. They're magical, you know, they're a creature. They're kinda girly, they fit my aesthetic just a little bit. Which I don't care. I'm a little feminine. Gender's made up. Who said that I had to, you know, abide by strict gender roles. Everything's made up, but the points don't matter. Whose gender is it anyway? That was unfunny. I'm not sure what animal I was going for in the face. I try and combine animals, you know, I don't want my unicorns to look like... I have this pet peeve, you understand, where I don't like when unicorns are just a horse with a horn coming out of its head. It's like, alright, can it be not just the one animal? Because it's its own animal, you know? It's not just a horse, right? Like, even if you look at, like, medieval depictions of unicorns, they don't look like just a horse with a horn sticking out of its head. It's, like, uncanny. Sometimes they're dog-like. Like, they look more like dogs than they do like horses, and the legs don't make a whole lot of sense. Sometimes they got, like, weird feet. I think I maybe spent a little bit too much time on this side quest. But as you can see, I'm not the most intelligent man. I'm not the smartest fellow. My brain is small and smooth and damaged from repeated concussions and a serious bout with alcoholism a while back. But hey, we made it. We're sober now. We had a silly little relapse, but we are living in, you know, 2025. Things are chill over here. Perfectly chill. Nobody is panicking. My home country is not on fire. But if anybody wouldn't mind, like, if you like art, I make art, and if you like videos, I make videos for free. I've got a coffee and now a ghost. I'm working on that. I'm working on a website too. I've got my hand in a whole bunch of pots, just trying to make things work for me and my lady, and low-key, you know, my community at large, because we're all kind of struggling. And mutual aid really is sharing the same $20 back and forth over and over again. I pay it forward when I can. I feel bad when I can't. Because I gotta balance, you know, taking care of me. My girlfriend is disabled, so it's all on me. And it's like, yeah, I'm proud, but also terrified. There's a lot of pressure when it's all on you, you know? Oh, now for the fun part. I did the background this time, because I know that I'm bad at it, and when you're bad at something, you should do it more. Oh, well, I guess I'm not doing the background yet. I lied. I am a liar. I did have a lot of fun with this piece, though. Even though it didn't turn out being the design that I wanted, I had a lot of fun just kind of putting it together, and it kind of helps me contextualize the world, too, because I do want them in that little section of Newport News, and I do want them to come across that bridge off that little country road. Those of you who know will know. Those of you who don't know, I am sorry. You had to be there. But it'll be fine. You'll read the book, and then you'll be like, oh, that little road. Speaking of which, writing again after not picking up writing for a while, like creative writing, the way that I used to, like I did it daily, 6 years straight, and now, you know, I'm picking it up again and being like, oh god, this is so much work. I mean, that's the thing about art that people don't realize. It's labor for sure, like, it's a labor of love, but it is time consuming. Also, I'm a cheater. I'm a dirty liar and a dirty cheater because, I I make these really simple backgrounds and then blur them so that I don't have to work as hard on them. It's a little way that I cheat. Because I'm a cheater. See, look at that. That's a background. And you're not even paying attention to it. You're paying attention to the owl. So I don't have to work as hard. Is it lazy? Yes. But this isn't... like, this is concept art. We know what a tree looks like. We've seen 1,000 trees. In the next episode, I'm going to tell you to not take for granted things that you've seen 1,000 times. So, little foreshadowing there. You know, I think I like the unscripted videos better. I think it's more authentic. I mean, there's a lot of pauses that I'm gonna have to fill in the editing stage, but I think that it's a lot more true to my personality. And, you know, you get a little bit more insight about the guy that's over here, like, doodling. I do like the black eyes. Like, the way that the eyes are just all the way... just coal black. Nice. Like shiny little obsidian bulbs. And then I did this color burn layer with the shadowing. I tried to do like a combination of cell shading and regular shading. I don't know how successful I was. I'm not. I'm not that skilled with my digital art software yet. I don't know if you can tell, but I am not the most skilled guy. Like, if you're watching these YouTube videos for the software use, you are better off looking for other tutorials. Well, this isn't really a tutorial, it's just we're just kinda hanging out. It's about at this stage I thought about just giving up. I thought, alright, I've got something that's not what I'm going for, but it's passable. It'll work with what I'm trying to do. It's a creature, I'm making a creature feature, I just need a creature. I need a creature for these characters to have a conflict around. So, I was, you know, I sent it over to social media, got 2 likes, and said, alright, that's my alien, I guess. And sat with my girlfriend and scrolled through my phone and found a really cool or no, I was talking to her about something. And I mentioned sea angels, and I said, "Have you never seen a sea angel?" And I pulled it up on my phone and I showed her, and it's the weirdest fucking animal that exists. I mean, not the weirdest. I'm a bit of an animal nerd. It's certainly not the weirdest, but it certainly looks alien. And when you think about a deep sea, it's a lot like deep space. And then, epiphany. That's my alien. That's what I need to model my alien after. Something that looks alien enough, right? Alien enough that if that thing were intelligent, it would be disturbing. Alright, so here's when things started just falling into place. Here, we've got the creature. Like, I finally knew what to do. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen a sea slug, or any sea slug species, but they do look like little aliens, and the sea angels kind of have like this glowy thing going on, where they're all translucent, but they've got like this glowy, what looks like brains and organs. So I decided to lean all the way into that. I drew like an almost human like anatomy system for it. The thing at the top that looks like a brain actually unfurls, and the little antennae come back, and the thing at the top unfurls into tentacles, and a probe comes out, and it's got psychic powers. So, yeah, this is the design that ended up being the one that I stuck with. Minus the jellyfish tentacles, I don't know what I was thinking there. I did end up giving it an extra set of wings, or fins, but they're wings because it's an angel. And here I'm just kind of demonstrating how it would latch onto a person's head, to, you know, kind of suck their thoughts out. It's very brain. Has to do with brain. But I don't know, they're kind of... I want them to be more... What's the word I'm looking for? Ineffable? I want them to be really strange, like their intentions aren't clear, why they're doing what they're doing isn't clear, like what they're doing isn't clear, like what are they doing with your brain? Why, you know, are they able to just like piece you apart in beams of light and put you back together somewhere else? Like, also, that's gonna be gross. I want it to look as gross as possible. So I might be doing a video about gore. I don't think that's safe for YouTube. I don't think I can put that on this channel. I would probably have to put that somewhere else. I'll figure out how to do that, but there will need to be a separate video for gore, because I don't think that we could put gore on YouTube. Sorry. I don't want YouTube to be mad at me. I just started here. So yeah. This is kind of my artistic process in a nutshell. Like, I'll grind for a long time and then realize, like, everything will just click and I'll be like, oh, wait, I can do it this way. And that's sort of what happened here. So this is me kind of painting. I did this in a very painterly style. I'm not sure why. I feel like it works more. I guess because it adds like an ethereal look to it. So I'm trying to give him, or it, this kind of like spooky, ethereal vibe where it's very unclear, you know, what it is, or what it's doing, or why it's doing it. But it's ominous, and it's uncomfortable. Like, ominous but beautiful. Sublime, I think, is the word. I think sublime is the word. I'm going for sublime vibes. So, I kind of like the colors and the concept. Like the original concept design here. It didn't end up being the final design because I needed to change a few things to make it more comic friendly. I know I'm going to be doing this, like, drawing this thing hundreds of times for at least 37 pages at a time. The plan is 3 installments of 37 pages. I can never do things simply. This is the simplest I can do things and still be sane. Also, I don't know why, but I thought that it could have these little screens. I ended up making it part of the halo. But in the original design, it has like little pods and stuff stuck to its insides, and it's like fleshy outsides, and they, you know, are like little mechanical mods that give it these little screens. I don't know. Aliens have technology, right? Especially if they travel. Just because they're supposed to, right? Here's me working on the notes page. I don't think I ended up using any of this, but I did have a great time just designing the alien. You know, because sometimes things just click in art. Like, occasionally you will get that inspiration. Normally, that's not how it works. You have to grind and expand your visual library and just... You've got to work at it. Also, I did end up calling it the Space Angel, because I am so creative. These details, these superfluous details, don't even end up in the final product. I give it veins for some reason that doesn't end up anywhere. For a guy who hates wasted time, right? I do waste a lot of my own time. Don't be like me. If you're looking for an artist who understands how to meet deadlines, don't... It's not this one. I am here to entertain you. I am not here for you to follow my example, alright? I am 31. Do you know how long I've wanted to do this? And just now gave myself the permission? Do you know how long I've been an adult? I mean, I've been poor, but... That's the other bit. Is sometimes you'll wait your whole life if you let yourself. So, you know, don't wait your whole life. Just do it. Even if you're bad. Even if you're bad at it, do it poorly. Just do it. It doesn't have to be good. It just has to be done. And here's the model sheet for my Space Angel. I hope you enjoy it. I sure did. It was a fun process. It was a frustrating process. It was very fun, though. I had a great time. You know, the challenges were, like, it was a learning experience. And that's what you should take away from, like, this video, is, you know, even if you don't do what you set out to do, you learned something. Doing the thing is always better than wishing you could do the thing. You know? Saying, I wish I were talented enough. I wish I had the time. I wish I had the energy. That was my biggest obstacle. I've got, like, untreated sleep apnea. I've got ADHD. I've got autism. Like, I'm burnt out at the end of my workday. So, not having the energy, I understand. I think I've got a system in place now, though, where I can be pretty prolific with my art. My job isn't... Excuse you. My job isn't the most demanding thing in the world right now. That might change, but it might not. There's a real possibility that I can work like this for the foreseeable future. So... good for me, and if you want to see me make this my day job, or yeah, if you want to see me make this my day job, please hit my coffee shop. Maybe send me a couple bucks. Tip me, please. I promise I will continue doing this until I can't anymore. Because I don't have a choice. I've tried giving up art. I can't. It's ingrained in my identity. And like a compulsion, you know? And I know that it's bad to, you know, wrap your work as an artist in your identity, but I do. It isn't the most advisable thing, but I do it. I like giving them color palettes before I go into color. That's the mistake I make pretty often, is I forget to do this. This little step helps me so much. Just figuring out what things should look like, where the colors should all go. Because I am not that smart. My brain is very small and very smooth. I don't know color theory. So I'm over here just playing it safe, you know? I understand some basic things like contrast. I understand, you know, some things having to do with saturation, like there's a reason that some colors look really bad when put right next to each other, and some colors look really good when put right next to each other, but sometimes I'm too stupid and I just have to look. I just have to see, you know? Well, let me try it. Let me touch the stove. I do really like a sea angel. I think that they're interesting as far as mollusks. They're mollusks, right? Sea slugs? Yeah. There's also a thing called sea butterflies, and they have a shell. So it's like this little shelled animal that like uses its weird slimy foot thing as like modified into wings to flap itself around. It's super cool. Also, that'll help with your art style too. If you start thinking about things like the things you're interested in, like if you're interested in animals, it helps to think about this alien is some kind of creature, right? Creatures are animals. I can design it off an animal. If you're interested in machines and you're trying to, you know, draw an insect, just think about the parts of his exoskeleton like little parts of a machine. simple. It's a little simple machine. Well, complicated machine. But you can easily, you know, turn something you're not interested in into something that's palatable. Like, I don't like drawing buildings. So I'll turn it into a design practice. Into, like, a character design practice, even. You want to give your characters a place to live? Alright, you gotta design their room, their building, the layout, you know. Sets are fun to think about, not fun to draw for me. Like, I like thinking about places, but when it comes time to draw them, I get so anxious. But I heard somebody say recently, you are only as good as your weakest, like the weakest point in your art. That's probably true. I am taking that advice to heart, and I am working harder at the things that I'm not so good at. This was so fun. I really enjoyed, you know, making the halo. Like, coming up with these parts to, like, its design that are functional. Because, you know, I started with the aesthetic, right? But I did end up coming up with a design that made sense. I'm proud of this one, can you tell? I'm proud of my space angel. I really do feel accomplished, like, after making this. However, I have so far to go. This has been a bit of an ambitious project for me, like, because I work a full-time job, you know? But I think I've got it this time. I think I've got, you know, the motivation. I think it's the right time, you know? I think my life experience is definitely gonna help. Like, I'm including a story about ghost hunting that's literally something that I've experienced. I mean, not literally. There were no aliens. But I'm including the settings, and I'm including, you know, the pretext. I mean, minus the high school thing. The characters are definitely not me. Ignore the fact that I missed part of that A. Because I did miss part of that A. That's embarrassing. The font was fun to do. I'm not very good at lettering, but, they say do things that you're not good at, so I'm doing things I'm not good at. I think I have leveled up quite a bit, just making content for this YouTube channel. Took me a while to figure out that the glitter wasn't working. But, you know, you live and you learn. So, over the next few videos, I'm going to be talking about not taking things for granted that you've seen 100 times. And it's gonna involve me drawing the things that I don't like drawing, so if you want to see me torture myself in a future video, that'll be available soon. If not, I've got other videos. You can hear me yap. Because I do be yapping for real. Hello, fellow kids. Anyway, I'm having a blast doing these YouTube videos. Thank you so much for everybody who's been supporting me. I'm recording this in July, so I haven't dropped the first 5, but this will be the 6th installment, and I'm just having a great time doing it. I would love to hear from y'all. Hit that comment section, like the video if you liked it, share it if you really liked it, subscribe, because I will, again, be doing this until I can't anymore. Well, y'all, that's all I've got for today. I appreciate all of the support. Hit my coffee shop. I don't have a Patreon. I've got Ghost. I'm working on a website. It might be worth it to just hit the free stuff for now. But I will be hosting my comics for free. That'll be fun. I'll be working on the physical copy too. I've got a friend who's got publishing ambitions, and I also have aspirations of publishing, so we're gonna roll those in together. Yeah, this is quite a crazy process, and I'm probably gonna fail, but I'm gonna do it until I succeed. I'm gonna do it until I succeed.